Africa.
InPDUM. Uhuru. I'm Westbrook, and I am the local president of the International People Democratic Uhuru Movement. And I want to greet you with Uhuru, because we know Uhuru means freedom. And we know that we should greet each other with freedom until we win it. Uhuru. Some folks want to say peace, but I don't think none of us knew peace since we was born into this world. So Uhuru. Aquava, that means welcome. And I want to welcome you to this beautiful black spot that black has built. Blood, sweat, tears, our money. This was dilapidated spot during among a derelict corridor, but we decided to invest in your future, invest in our future, invest in our liberation by investing on this corridor and turn it around. Uhuru. So once again, we call this place a Quabahog because this is your home and you is always welcome. We is here each and every Sunday from 3 to 5. You is always welcome. Led by the African People's Socialist Party, the International People Democratic Uhuru Movement is a mass organization founded in 1991 and is the leading organization in the struggle for bread, peace, and black power in the 21st century.
That's right.
And I want to keep acknowledging our 41st year since our founding. Uhuru. To join today, you can visit us at ipdum.org/today and select a membership level. Once again, our community rallies are held every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And you can also view them on the Burning Spirit News YouTube channel and Facebook. We are located at 4101 West Florissant in Alice. So for anyone that's viewing here locally on live, you still got time to come on down and enjoy. We encourage the online viewers to like, share, and subscribe to the Burning Spirit YouTube channel. And today's our theme today is the ballot is under attack. It's the whole damn system. We are not going back. And also, we want to put a couple of reminders out there for sign-up sheets for the Soulard market during the African Arts Festivals. We also got a sign-in sheet at the back table that's going to be going around in a minute, dealing with the trial in Atlanta and how you can get down there and support the arguments. And last but not least, it's going to be a sheet sent around on how you could be involved in building the St. Louis Black Community Convention. And all this attack and all these things that's going that's happening against our rights, against your rights. This is evident that we need a convention to deal with our issues. But before we continue, we want you to please stand and join us for the African Nation fight song. Uhuru. Fist up.
Fight back.
Fight back.
Africa's best. billion strong. Yes, we are one. We are winning. Patrice Lumumba's life won't be in vain. We are winning. Keep up the work in Marcus Garvey's name. We are winning. Independent and free is what we will be. We are winning. Africa will bask in our victory. We are winning. Long live the liberation of our African nation. Freedom to organization. Socialist world our creation. 1 billion strong. Yes, we are one. We are winning.
I hear that. Come on with me. Yes, we are. We are. When we fight, we win. Uhuru, don't let nobody tell you nothing different. When we fight, we win. Then stop. Then stop. Touch one. Uhuru, liberation through organization. Thank you. We all can have a seat right now. Uhuru. Liberation through organization. Hey, don't let no one tell you the minority. We are 1 billion plus strong globally. So when they say you touch one, you touch all. Uhuru. Once again, I want to salute all of my comrades for showing up on this Sunday. I also want to salute our leadership that's in the building. Come on, let's get a round of applause. Come on now. The baddest revolutionary on this planet. Oh, well, we got our hands clapped. We might as well extend it for Luca Day while we in the room. The Central Committee, DC, and all the other leadership that's probably not in the building with us. But before we continue forward, I want to do a few things, a couple house rules. Can you please put your phone on silent or vibrate? Try to keep your talking to the minimal, the live mics pick it up. Your bathrooms to your left, my right. Yeah, and just have a revolutionary great time. I mean, if it's something that prompt your spirit to speak, we're gonna have the mics open for discussion, so come on up and speak. But I also want to take this moment briefly. I see a guest in and I'm gonna pick on her. Can you come on up and tell us where you from? Yeah. Come on up. My fault, man. Just be brief. You can tell us your name, where you from, or whatever, in 30 seconds, a minute, and I ain't gonna beat on you too much. Uhuru.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cherie Parsley, better known to my friends as Champagne Frank. I'm a hip hop artist, I'm a 20-year line cook, a mother of 4 sons, and a self-proclaimed social scientist. I am very excited to be here because I've been looking for something that's just like about the elephant in the room, not like the propaganda and the other tools, you know what I mean? Yes, sir. So, at the end of the day, I'm excited to be here for iron to sharpen iron and us to learn from each other. And I'm gonna forewarn y'all, I'm a stickler for definitions, so I'm gonna irk some people. Appreciate y'all. Thanks. Smart.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you call him or her, the trees hug him,
Who got right? All right. Yeah, let me just look among the room, see if anybody else I can pick on, Right on, Conrad. I see you back in the room, our newest member. How's it going? What's up? You see, we got not a guest, but Conrad, long way from home. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm expecting you to come up and we're doing discussion time. Uhuru. But without further ado, we're gonna get to the political education. Now, we tend to move forward. And I kind of got lashed out for not necessarily moving forward with today's Revolutionary National Democratic Program. But with this broken system that folks sweeping down that could be reformed, it's steady showing us how backwards they act, how backwards we are going. So I want to take a page from that book. I want to go backwards for a second. And I want to go to point 1 and point 10. I don't want to be redundant. But I think this talk precisely on what we are dealing with in these times. So point 1 of the Revolutionary National Democratic Program of the International People Democratic Uhuru Movement. We say and believe we demand all rights consistent with being a free people. Rights which include self-determination and self-governments as the highest expression of genuine democracy. We demand independence in our lifetime. Point 10 simply states, we also demand freedom of religion, press, and a right to free speech, assembly, and if folks don't know where I'm going, meaning the damn right that you gave these citizens, we just calling you out on it because we demand the same damn thing. And excuse my French, that's the last damn I think I'm gonna say. But we demand freedom of religion, press, and the right to free speech, assembly, and political association with any group and or anywhere in the world that has been determined by our people to be the beneficial to our struggle for revolutionary national democracy. Simple rights. Are we wrong for asking for simple rights?
No.
Especially self-determination and self-governance. These are any rights of any free people that's on this earth. But why every time we turn around, our rights is being attacked. Our rights, you see the erosions of our rights. And folks just laugh and think that what you're complaining about. You still could go down there and vote. Well, how many of us know that America is approaching its 250 years? You know that after slavery, it down there, and I'm throwing some shit out there folks want to say, but I got to correct this notion. There was a notion that 100 years after they freed the slave in 65 or 63, but 1865, we supposed to finally got voters' rights 100 years later, 1965, right? Less than 6 decades later, here we go. So my mother, when she was born, she did not have that right. Before she died, she's not gonna have that right. Forget what they gave us. This is the truth. She was born without a right. She's gonna die without that right. But folks sweeping down that this system can be reformed. We said no, that's a lie. We say we have to build dual and contending powers to replace this system. But we know the Voting Rights Act is supposed to remove some barriers. And we know that was a lie. Some of the barriers being like the poll tax, grandfather clause, violence and literacy tests that prevent folks to register, etc. But we know since 65, none of that stopped. You know what I'm talking about? Depends on what region you from. You know. But Conrad said that one thing that she glad one thing she hoped to hear, she glad to come here, and she hoped to hear about the elephant in the room. Where we finna speak about the elephant in the room. Elephant in the room. We know up to 15 black Democrats finna lose their jobs. 15 black Democrats. Now, don't jump all crazy because I said black are Democrats. I'm not rooting for one. The whole damn system is messed up. And just because you black, that don't necessarily mean nothing. We know neocolonialism. Neocolonialism. But me speaking about the 15 black Democrats that's finna lose their seats, speak about your voting power, the erosion of your voting power. A lot of folks said that these things is central down south, where a lot of folks consider Missouri down south too. Because you know, in Kansas City, one of the black, I think it's his name, but in the 5th district, his congressional seat was cut during his gerrymandering program. His position. A lot of folks want to look at what the Republicans is doing and how they run a race, how they just run over our rights. But this is nothing new. And Chairman often point us to the fact that this is nothing new. You know, a lot of folks got this temporary amnesia. They get blinded with temporary pleasements and forget about the horror stories. But this is nothing new. How many of us familiar with the Compromise of 1877? I think they call it the era, the end of Reconstitution. The state, yeah. No, not the Missouri Compromise. That was 1820, that about, I believe. No, the compromise of 1877, or the end of Reconstruction.
Tilden Hayes.
Yeah, thank you.
I hear,
The Tilden Hayes Compromise, that's what they call it.
I hear, yes, sir.
But this the political education spot. This what will hip our people, because unfortunately they whitewash or simply don't tell our history. But make a long story short, it ended in 1877, and it pretty much what marks the end of that is when the federal troops left the South and allowed the South to put in place, you know, black codes or et cetera to disenfranchise us. But slowly but surely, the method that they used, the Democratic was able to take up the whole South. The method that they're using. But if you're looking at now on the other side of the spectrum, the Republicans is using the same fight to take over the whole South. Now, I said all this stuff is enough to wrap it up. I say all of this stuff is nothing new. Well, I'm glad I'm not we ain't a church and I'm not a pastor. The pastor got up to 3 closes. So if I'm on my second one, I got one more then. So we know that they lied to us. Some of us is not claiming I'm that old, but some of us old enough to remember the lie. But they lied to us and say we got our Voters' Right Act in 1965. But how many of us know that's a lie? They say that I just want to go back. 1865, the 13th Amendment was ratified. You know, we're supposed to they lied and say it stopped slavery, but what it did was an economic war on the South. It just transferred the power of slavery from the civilian to the state. So it didn't stop slavery; it just transferred that power. Now the 14th, that was 1865, 100 years before the Voters' Rights Act. But in 1868, a lot of folks familiar with the 1968 Civil Rights Act. But if you look at 1868, the 14th Amendment, and that's supposed to guarantee the U.S. Citizenship to all persons born or naturalized on these waters. And then we know 1870, the 15th Amendment. And the 15th Amendment, it decrees that the right to vote cannot be denied because of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. 15th Amendment. So a lot of folks want to believe that this system could be reformed, just organized, just protest, just get involved in politics and change the narrative, change it up. But like we said, with the struck down the Supreme Court with the voters' right, every time we try to advance, it comes back. Why do we need a 1965 Voters' Rights Act when 1870, the 15th Amendment decrees that the right to vote could not be denied because of race, color, or previous condition of servitude? So you got these politicians that say forget the Constitution. You got the courts, black robes, I call it white robes, that's been dyed over the years. But you got the courts that agree with this notion that the Constitution ain't nothing. It ain't worth the paper to wipe your, you know the saying. So if the politician and the courts don't even abide by their own constitution, why is we still trying to fight it to reform it? Why is we still have an association to a political party that doesn't give a about you? I told you I wasn't gonna cuss again. We speaking about the Republican Party is what they doing now, but the Democratic Party did the same playbook in the 18. We know about the 1898 the Wilmington, North Carolina coup. We know about that. When they couldn't stand the facts of the fusion, the populists and the Republicans, blacks and whites taking over the state politics, and how they used lies and propaganda to kick them out. But that wasn't enough. They still killed and ran folks up out of town. Wilmington was the largest spot in North Carolina as far as the bodies of black people. But now you won't even know that. Now it's hard to find history as far as this coup. But folks want to say about the Republicans and the MAGA with the insurrection of January 6th. Well, the Democrats did the same damn thing. The Democrats did the same thing. The only difference is the Democrats in North Carolina, that was successful. You had the Democratic Party engaged in paramilitary insurgents and terrorism. You including the Ku Klux Klan, including the white shirts, the white league, including the red shirts.
White shirt.
No, white leagues and the red shirts. All this in this was the terrorism that the insurrection that happened. But you don't know nothing about that. 1898, you don't know nothing about that. They want to say as if these Republicans, what they did is the first thing that came against us. Nah. And us being Americans, I'm not American, I'm African. But history is repeating itself. What are you going to do about it? Our chairman says it's past the point just protesting. It's past that point. While you protesting, they change the laws. While you protest, they disenfranchising you. While you protesting, you have no legal representation. But they still taxing you. And I thought it was something in this Constitution they don't care about. There's no representation without no taxation without representation. What are you gonna do about it? We say organize. You by yourself can't do nothing. Fofi said, well, one person by themselves cannot make an impact, but when you ball their fists up, you can make a devastating impact. Organize. Join the InPDUM, join the party. Let's not just come in here and leave back out. The church folks say the same. These rallies should be able to rally you up, get you mad, get you up out of there to make change. To win your liberation, it cannot be reformed. And I say this and close my last closing. That's why I love the chairman for seeing this thing way before 2026. Our chairman said this Republican Party don't mean you no good. This Democratic Party don't mean you no good. That's why in 1972, we created the African People's Socialist Party. To win true liberation, to have all rights on the agenda. Uhuru, let me hear from you. Let me hear from y'all. This I'm opening up for discussion, and the mic is open. But this not the end of the discussion. Only thing this is the gateway to bring our chairman in and tell us more about this crucial moment that we are in. Uhuru, Uhuru.
Uhuru Conrad. Thank you, Conrad, St. Louis President InPDUM. I agree. I agree. I agree. And I'm sick and tired of being sick, of listening and not being able to, or not feeling able to do anything about the lies that's fed to us like the air we breathe. Once people, our people realize what they know, but they don't know what to do. He just told you what to do. Become a member of the InPDUM organization. We'll show you how to ball at fifth and how to make an impact. Because other than that, you just talking air that is disappearing. I'm tired of lies.
Yes, sir.
We all tired of these lies. We all tired of this whitewash. Uhuru. Uhuru.
Uhuru, comrades.
Uhuru, comrades.
So good to be in St. Louis.
It's so good to have you.
Mike Browntown, Chairman, it's so good to see you. First I do need to say this, that I just want to just really express my appreciation to Chairman O'Malley, our chairman, and for the relentless works. And then to all of the leadership of this party and solidarity and leadership, our international leadership as well. But I just wanted to share something real quick. I unite with what you're saying, comrade, and that was a clear analysis. I just wanted to say, as you were saying, once we were out of that system of slavery, all those other Bill of Rights and all that stuff should have never even had to have happened, because if we were free, we were automatically supposedly citizens, so we should have came under the Constitution in the first place. So all of it was a joke, and every right, Voting Rights Act, I mean, every act can be, they can vote on it to change it at any time. And that's what the colonial powers are doing. But I just wanted to say this real, Chairman. O'Malley taught me and cleared up the question and helped me to understand, the whole this whole system that we're under. When Chairman, when you met me, when you met me in terms of coming and organizing in Wichita, you and the other comrade from Philly came. And when they came, Chairman, I hope you remember this. You came into the house, and I had in this one room, a little library, and I had all these tapes and everything. Chairman knew I'd been grappling, and he thumped softly. Y'all be okay? He thumped softly because I was just sharing, I was just trying to let him know that I had been stuck. So I had Farrakhan's tapes. I ain't gonna whistle, but I had Farrakhan's tapes. I had stuff by Jesse Jackson. I had Dr. King, of course, Malcolm X. But Malcolm was the only revolutionary that I had up off in there. But anyway, Chairman knew that I was wanting to know more. So he thumped softly, brought me along, and I want to say others too, with this teaching. When we understood the two political lines, then we could understand the class question and how we sometimes fight against our own interests because we don't understand the interests that each class had. And they're gonna, anyways, I'm not gonna keep going on, but I just wanted to point that out because that class question is so important. And that's what I'm not gonna do, because I'll keep going. But like our fight song says, to answer or to just share what I think what Sister Comrade Fofi was saying. Like in our great fight song, it talks about Patrice Lumumba's name. All of it is great, but Patrice Lumumba's name will not be in vain, and it won't. And I also want to say all of the relentless work of the chairman and this party and other organizations, none of it will be in vain. And we see it. I know at times in the past, sometimes when we were singing our song, we we have to speak stuff too, but we don't always feel like we're winning. The way it looks, it don't, but we are winning. We are winning. Yes, African international is winning. We are winning, and that's important because once I understand that our revolutionary theory has moved and continued to develop, then we can understand what we need to do. You know, and so all of the work we're doing, that is how we're going to create the world we want. And that's really all it is. Once colonialism is out the way, we back to the regular way life was supposed to be in the first place.
Right.
When we talking about growing our gardens and our food, taking care of our health, taking care of our babies, Chairman, we've heard it 1,000 times. None of our babies was sent to those places. Auntie, cousin, somebody, sister down the street, I'm gonna stop. But our babies were taken care of, and just like our family. So that and
Breathe.
You got it.
Breathe.
Chairman
It
said,
ain't rushing you.
and others,
I ain't got nothing to do. I don't get to speak for nobody else.
I'm sorry. It's just
Everything I got to do is negative, mama. Yeah.
once we understand and do what the chairman and and our other, our brothers and sisters that's on our fight song, it's coming to fruition. The thing is when we understand colonialism and neo-colonialism, because Nkrumah said, y'all already know, what did he say? The last stage of imperialism or colonialism is what?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that's ever,
what?
Chairman, tell me if I'm wrong. Neo-colonialism. Neo means new. So after the colonial powers were taken away,
Oh, they was colonialists, my bad.
yeah,
But they're too
Neo.
looking at.
They raised up the puppets
She's silly.
and funded them to get rid of our real leaders who love Africa and love African people and who won't sell out. Like the chairman, like Traore and
Like
other
Rick.
Sahel nations, but I'm going to stop. So see, this is the thing. Once we raise up, Chairman, colonialism is going to go away just with us taking back control of our resources and everything. So I appreciate it.
Right.
So, Mama,
Really?
If you want to
Really
speak.
excited.
I know you.
Y'all always not get mad at you.
Yeah, no, I think we got two more guests, two more speakers. We got two more speakers, then we're gonna move the agenda.
Me, I'm gonna go first. So I had my lead. Right.
Can you turn towards the camera?
It'll be cool. I was trying to be as humble as I can. You feel me? Cause I'm very aggressive with my joint. I don't want nobody to feel like I'm trying to cut their knowledge. Like I'm really a stickler for the words, right? Because language is tens of thousands of years old. English is 200 to 400 years old. Race is 200 to 400 years old, right? So you look at America, right? And you're talking about all of these different indigenous groups, which are mostly what we can now call Black. There are thousands, right? So they took all of these groups and now we Black. Wait, though, like South Africa, Central Africa, Mali Empire, most money in the world to this day, still to this day. Meanwhile, they over there getting $1 a day for us to scroll on our phones about fucking canned milk, powdered milk. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, right? Like every 45 seconds, a woman in Congo gets raped for us to scroll on our phones, right? And South Africa and Cherokee and freaking Ghana, it's the same symbol, you know? Like, did y'all get the message though? Like, color ain't real. Good and evil is real. Do people agree with gay if they're religious? Nah, they don't agree with gay. But I got a gay son. You touch me, got a problem. You feel me? So, but at the end of the day, right? My son gay. He is loving another grown-up who wants to be loved. Now let's talk about evil, right? You talking about grown people messing with not grown people. People who take things that don't belong to them. You got people picking on somebody just because they bigger than them. eating their food because they can. Those
Sound like the
things,
colonizer.
those things are not exclusive to race or freaking nationality, right? African Americans is the only people in the world whose quote unquote title is not attached to the land under their feet. Africanus is arguably a Roman general's name. America is arguably a Roman general's name, right? So if you talk about Europe, who has zero borders,
Okay, Cameron.
America, they got fucking 50 states, all of these borders, plus North and South and Canada and all these borders, right? And you got Europe, they got zero borders, right? So why does this matter to us, right? Why does this matter? Because a pack of Newport shorts in St. Louis, Missouri costs $10 right now. On the east side, they cost $20. I can't take 20 cases of Newport shorts from Missouri and go to the east side and sell them. Why? It's a federal crime. I answer for you. You understand what I'm saying? This imaginary line is a federal crime, and the individuals, I'm not gonna, single nobody out.
Do it.
The vernacular that is the misconception of color, right? Listen, the individuals that drew those imaginary lines in their home, there are no lines.
Uhuru. Right on, Comrade. Uhuru. Nah, Comrade President, he's the last guest, so we gonna move forward. Right on. Let's give another one applause for our bitch. Uhuru.
Uhuru comrades, thank you so much for this incredible flow of education. Point number one, it's probably in the running to being my favorite point in the RNP. Because it says it all. And this whole thing of the RDP, the Revolutionary National Democratic Program, which is the program of InPDUM. It's over 70 points that we
70
all of our work is around these points. And we work to win support among our communities, and all we can do to support the democratic program of the African working class, created by the African working class, led by the African working class, and that's really important. It's a revolutionary national democratic program. So the democratic rights that we may mention in the like, for example, in point number 10, that you can see, in terms of the Constitution and things like that. These should be our rights, but we don't just limit ourselves to the bourgeois definition of democratic rights. We go far beyond that. And you can see that in point number 1 that says we demand all rights consistent with being a free people, rights which include self-determination, self-governance, the highest expression of genuine democracy. We demand independence in our lifetime. That's not something that you'll see in the Constitution. That's not something that you'll see in the Missouri State Constitution or legislature and stuff like that. But these are democratic rights that African people have defined for ourselves. And that's incredibly important in terms of this work toward once again being an independent and self-determining, self-governing people, because government being self-determining was something that was taken away from us. That's the whole thing about colonialism. It strips the people away of all kinds of rights and things like that. So we go beyond the bourgeois definitions of democratic rights and assert our own democratic rights as we transition into the revolutionary state of the African workers. So yeah. Anyways, that's what I have. And we do this practically. For example, the Black Community Convention, which I hope that you do sign up for. We'll be pulling the Black St. Louis into a process of coming together and developing our own Black St. Louis community agenda. what is the agenda of Black St. Louis? Because the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, we can't see ourselves reflected in their agenda and things like that. So we have to define these things for ourselves, and we have to fight for these things, collectively and all this and all these things. So I hope you do sign up and help develop this process and build for this process. Comrade James is over getting signups for this. So thank you. Go ahead.
Anyway, Current President, can you wait right there for a second? Quickly, if you got a question, quickly.
That's revolutionary. You were
Revolution.
talking about
Yes.
it around the block, like
Yes.
it's written places.
Yes.
I was wondering, what's it mean?
Yeah. Revolution is the overturn of a class by one class. Yeah.
So
it's
in
complete-
our soul, we talk about democracy.
Yeah, it's a complete overturn. Of
But you do know.
of a class. Yes.
Just clarify, so thanks, yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I think that concludes the discussion phase of the political education. And I want to thank each and every last one of y'all comments and questions. Uhuru. Right now, before we enter to our main presentation, I think we have a short clip dealing with the Huffington Post. Also, come on, Conrad, President. Usher us in. Usher us in. Nah, come on, usher us in. Yeah.
Uhuru comrades. I'm just gonna read some of the excerpts coming out of the July 29th, not July 29th, April 29th, Huffington Post article. And it, this is ahead of Chairman's presentation. For those of you who are not aware, recently the Voting Rights Act of 1965 was essentially gutted. And so this article was written, and I'll jump around. It's only like 4 paragraphs, and then sum it up. It states that the immediate impact is not known, but it may lead some states to challenge Black and Latino majority districts as illegal racial gerrymanderers, potentially reducing their representation in legislative seats from Congress all the way down to county commissions. With the Voting Rights Act now left nearly useless, Black and Latino plaintiffs will not be able to challenge the demolition of their political representation. And since Black and Latino voters have historically preferred to elect Democrats, this is likely to also have the effect of furthering tilting the House towards Republicans. After today, those districts exist only on sufferance and probably not for long. Keegan had written, and I think this is one of the judges. If other states follow Louisiana's lead, the minority citizens residing there will no longer have an equal opportunity to elect candidates of their own choice. The minority representation in government institutions will sharply decline. And then I'm jumping around here. Enacted in 1965 following the historic Civil Rights March from Selma, Alabama, led by the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., the Voting Rights Act officially ended Jim Crow election schemes that prevented Black people from voting in the South. It also established legal procedures through Section 2 for citizens to challenge election laws and legislative maps as racially discriminatory, and the requirement that states and municipalities with a history of racial discrimination, mostly the former Confederacy, pre-clear election laws and maps with the Department of Justice in Section 5. The result was a rapid expansion of minority representation in legislative bodies across the country, but particularly in the South. And then lastly, that rapid expansion did not truly accelerate until after 1982, when Congress passed an amendment
to the Voting Rights Act in response to the Supreme Court decision in the city of Mobile and Bolden, v. Bolden, which said courts could only find a violation under the acts if they found intentional discrimination. In 1982, amendment overturned the 1982 amendment overturned that ruling by stating that courts could not look discriminatory, cannot look to discriminatory impacts without determining whether there were intentional discrimination. This decision allowed the creation of the vast majority of districts that have elected most of the Black and Latino members of Congress in U.S. history. There are a few assumptions that are made. One, the U.S. colonial state had concluded that for itself that there were no, apparent race-based contradictions no longer. Race-based contradictions in terms of elections no longer existed. This is something that they themselves had determined, these colonizers. Instead of making judgment on the impact, of their ruling, their rule gets made based on intention, just moving the goalposts and things like that. I do know we have a video. But one of the things, you said what?
Right here.
Okay, yeah. One of the things that they said was that redistricting is not racist due to they perceive this as just being something between the Democratic and Republican Party. This whole partisan and gerrymandering and things like that. Redistricting models were based on computers that generated the districts. So the computers couldn't be racist. But here's the thing, even if we took that same kind of law line, that could be said about the literacy test and things like that. I mean, it's just ruling class justice all throughout. It's ruling class justice, and this is it's a desperate attempt of a colonial state, in an attempt to save itself, because it has no place in the future, and it's recognizing that it has no future. Yeah, we can play the video.
Is that no advances were ever made for Black people in the United States through voting. I'm not saying we shouldn't vote, but the main advances that we had did not come through voting. It came through us standing up, fighting together, and organized. They cannot stop us. They will not stop us. And it ain't the ballot that brought us any kind of liberation, and it ain't going to be the ballot that's ultimately going to get us there. So we go forward no matter what. And with that, I'm going to direct the first question to our sister, Ifia Ongaza, because of her tremendous history with working with voting rights. Why don't you tell us exactly what was this voting rights law that got enacted, and why did it get enacted? Why did we need to have this? So I'll start with you, Sister Ifia, and your mic is closed.
Thank you, Uhuru. Thank you, Sister Lisa. Thank you, Black is Back Coalition, for calling this important webinar. I've been listening to various analysis and fightbacks and such ever since the U.S. Supreme Court issued its ruling, for which we probably should have been prepared, given the fact that, first and foremost, that this country has not missed an opportunity to roll back the clock and to return us to, in their mind, at best, rule of white male property owners, and at a minimum, redemption and restoration of the Confederacy and the Old South. The passage of the Voting Rights Act followed the I see. The passage of the Voting Rights Act followed a series of other efforts to figure out what to do with us. With us meaning Africans who were previously enslaved, forced labor, and denied reparations. The first response was to end slavery by the 13th Amendment, except for the conviction of a crime, and then they put the crime-making power in the hands of our enslavers. So that placed a shadow over what was supposed to be freedom or emancipation, and resulted in convict leasing and sharecropping, which was, as one author put it, slavery by another name. But then was the question of what would be our political status in the society, and especially as to protect the office holding of the winners of the Civil War. And then they passed the 14th Amendment, which provided for birthright citizenship, which of course Donald Trump and company at this point has submitted to the U.S. Supreme Court for re-examination and re-evaluation. So we shouldn't rest easy on what the outcome of that is going to be, especially since Clarence Thomas continues to give them cover for all of the white supremacist, patriarchal, capitalist decisions that they make. At the same time, because of the resistance of the South specifically, but of white supremacists generally, we were terrorized and denied the opportunity to exercise the right to vote as a part of citizenship. And that resulted in the passage of the 15th Amendment, which said that no voting interference based on folks' prior status or of their race. However, following 1865, following the Tillman Hayes Compromise, where the northern whites withdrew from the South in order, in exchange for the South agreeing to allow Hayes to become president, then we went into what is commonly called the Jim Crow era, where none of the so-called Civil War amendments, 13th, 14th, and 15th amendments had any meaning, where we were terrorized and denied the exercise of the right to vote for 150 years, actually. They developed all kinds of as we see with everything else, and it has occurred with the leading up to this Calais decision, various mechanisms. For instance, during the Jim Crow era, where we had been denied en masse the right to learn to read and write, literacy tests were applied so that in order to be able to register and vote, you had to be able to read a section and interpret it of the whatever constitution, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina. And of course, the person who was making this demand could or could not read himself. So he didn't know whether what you were saying was what was actually written there or not. In other instances, you had the demand, how many black jelly beans are there in a jar? And all such absurdities as that. In addition to that came the poll tax, where we were in crushing poverty, and every dime that we could get our hands on was for survival. They were demanding that we use those funds, allocate them to exercise the constitutional right to vote. That failing, then they came back with the grandfather clause, where if your grandfather could vote, then you didn't have to pass the literacy test and you didn't have to pay poll tax, that you were already just entered into the voting rolls and eligible to register and vote. So quite frankly, we've been here before, and we have not only survived, but we've thrived, we've figured it out, and we've overcome.
Right.
And
If I may ask just one question, Sister Athea, because just with the Voting Rights Act of 1965, what was it about that I guess prevented some of these things? And why is it just an act? And why does it have to be renewed?
what the Voting Rights Act of 1965 did was to revive the protections of the Civil War amendments.
Okay.
And as a result of that, it said that the Confederate states could not put in place voter suppression practices like poll taxes, like literacy tests, like grandfather clauses to prevent us from being able to exercise the constitutional right of citizenship, which is the right to vote. Out of that, any changes that they made in the laws, voting registration and exercise would have to be approved by the Department of Justice. It was called the pre-clearance section, Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act. Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act required that they correct and cure any changes in voting laws, administration, practices that had the effect of disenfranchising, of preventing African people and other people of color from being able to register and vote. The Calais decision, first of all, Shelby versus Holder, gutted Section 5, which meant that they were no longer subject to review of the changes that they made with regard to eligibility to register and vote. And the gutting of Section 2 by Calais in the most recent decision means that effect is no longer the standard, but intent becomes the standard. Therefore, as one person put it, we went from having to be a crack detective to establish effect to being having to be a fortune teller and mind reader in order to be able to say what their intent is. And using the euphemism of party, then the U.S. Supreme Court gave white supremacists across the country the permission to formulate districts, to draw the lines of district in such ways as to protect incumbents and to assure the election of other whites, leaving Black people and other people of color with no obvious recourse for representation, meaningful representation.
Well, we have quite a bit of work to do. Chairman, I'm going to ask for you to come in. And also, my understanding is that the Supreme Court, normally when they hand down a ruling or something like that, they usually allow time for maybe there to be challenges, or they might take 30 days or something for it to become enacted. But this time they did it immediately. Chairman, do you want to jump into this discussion and talk about that aspect of it, and of course what we need to do and what this means for our organizing?
Well, first of all, I want to really express appreciation for what Comrade Sister Afia has just offered us. And I do think that it is true, as you said, Comrade Vice Chair, that most of the victories we won was outside of the electoral process. In fact, the right to vote was won outside of the electoral process. We didn't go and vote to be able to vote. We made struggles, and SNCC was central to much of that. And I think about that 1964, the Summer Project in Mississippi, where SNCC played such a fundamental role. I think about, Cheney, Goodman, and Schwerner, and how they were murdered just for trying to vote, trying to organize people to vote. And so part of what I think is really important, especially with the development of SNCC, and particularly with the kind of role that Sister Afia played in this process of pushing from within the boundaries of a civil rights movement, where joining inside the system had been such a critical thing. SNCC pushed beyond that and talked about, in fact, it caused the crisis up inside the organization itself, where SNCC began to talk about the actual achievement of Black Power, which was an anti-colonial demand. And when you say anti-colonial, what you mean is removing the capacity of foreign and alien power to dominate your lives and make laws that they can give one day and take back the next day. That's what Comrade Afia just went through this whole process. You're supposed to have these rights, and then they take it. You're supposed to have these rights. And she said, this stuff we've been fighting for a lifetime around the same question. And I believe that we are on a real different kind of trajectory, or have the potential. I think what the system always does, without intending to do so, it shut the doors for a sector of the population, those who opposed Black Power, those who felt like the only solution was to integrate up into the system. Mm-hmm. They shut every door that presumed to be available to integrate into the system to solve the problem. So that puts us in a situation where we have to go outside, or have to be willing to go beyond what happens in the system to solve the problem. Mm-hmm. And so one complication, apparent complication, I don't think is real, that is offered us by such a ruling as this, as many of the other things that we've noticed happening in the recent period, is that they are attempting to take away all the democratic space that we have. We fought for that space. People like to say we fought and died for the right to vote. We fought for that democratic space. And the significance of that democratic space is that it gives us room to advance our struggle in a way that doesn't necessarily call for us to act precipitously, etc. Before we've gained a certain kind of capacity. The vote gives us access to stuff we never had before, in terms of being able to reach all kinds of people, because it was institutionalized not for Black people. We didn't even have the right to vote. In fact, we were still suffering up until I think what was it? When was it that comments?
Nah. I want to introduce my. Come on, y'all can do better than that. Sometimes he just be slick. He very humble. He just gonna ease on to the mic. So, but we gonna do better than y'all. Give a hand, one applause for our chairman, Amalia Sakela. Uhuru. To spend all of his adult life winning our liberation. Uhuru.
Uhuru, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think it's important for us to have this discussion now. It's an issue that resonates throughout the African community, throughout this country. And it is something that even some liberals, white liberals, are shuddering around, because it's clear that it's another assault just on any presumption of rights that African people have. I want to make the point that rights is a legal term. It's a legal term. Rights are a legal term. And if, in fact, the law is not something that you have the benefit of, you have no rights. And if you are colonized and the colonizer makes the law, the colonizer makes laws that do not confer rights upon you, except perhaps the rights to petition the colonizer not to treat you as badly, but certainly not the right to end your relationship to colonialism. So I think it's really important for us to understand that, one. Two, I want to acknowledge our comrades Shakura here, because I've known this sister for a very, very, very long time, down in Wichita, Kansas, and just great working with her family. She had a magnificent family that was involved in the movement. So I want to recognize that and say that is further evidence the fact that we are winning. Because sometimes you can be a passenger on a bus that's going to a particular destination, and you know that's the destination that the bus is going to, but the passengers may have all kinds of disagreements and arguments among themselves in the process of getting to that destination. That happens to us sometimes, our movement. Sometimes in the process of getting there, we debate and struggle with each other, but we go in the same place and we're on that same bus. And that is something that's happened with our movement. It's something that's happened with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee that we extol so much. Certainly I do as well. I want to really also acknowledge Comrade Brother James. I'm so glad to see that you're well and that you're back. And there's the comrade who never turns down an assignment. Well, let me take that back, because last time I said something like that, he corrected me in mid-sentence. I'm talking about Brother Gregory. He corrected me in mid-sentence. So I just wanted to acknowledge this comrade, and also comrades Penny Hess and Jesse Neville. And I appreciate and love these comrades so much, because they're comrades who didn't have to do it. You know what I mean? And most of them who don't have to do it don't go through this stuff. Right. And I just wanted to acknowledge these comrades. These are really serious soldiers, revolutionaries, and I appreciate you so much. Also, I just think that I've heard something about a system being broken, but the system is not broken. When it treats us this way, it's functioning the way it's supposed to function.
Yeah.
If it does something right by us, it's broken.
Right.
You understand? But it's not a broken system. And I think we need to get used to that because there's a way we fall into ourselves, this presumption of democracy under colonialism, and there's no such thing. We've said that for the colonized, the highest expression of democracy is what? Self-determination. So that's what all of our work has been about, self-determination. In some ways, even as we are concerned about the ruling around the Voting Rights Act. And let me tell you that I was in the mix in a very serious way, organizing for voting rights, civil rights, that kind of legislation. I was on the ground working for that kind of stuff to happen. But the fact is that, and it's useful to some extent, but in many ways, these rulings confirm our position all along, that we shall not have any freedom, any rights as colonized subjects. And I think that the other thing related to that is that it exposes the treachery of the white liberals and the African petty bourgeoisie liberals who actually have fought against us when we talked about Black power, actually fought against us when we said that this system cannot serve us, and help to disarm the masses of African people who should otherwise be fighting to get our own power. So I think that where we are is a great place for us to be in, depending on our willingness to organize and to take advantage of it. Because all of the petty bourgeois forces are exposed by this thing. We're not crying. We're not crying because we lost the right to function within the colonial system in that fashion. Our objective is to end our relationship to colonialism. That's what we have to do. And we use these incidents as examples to win masses of African people to an understanding that we have to have our own power. We say, see, told you.
Yeah.
We told you, right, that we have to have our own power. And this is not some empty kind of claim or discussion we're making. We said, see, we told you you have to have Black Power Blueprint.
Yeah.
We told you have to have this doula project over here.
Right.
We told you that we can make the children basketball court ourselves. We told you that these are the things that we can do with our own farms. We don't have to live in food deserts and stuff like this, and we don't have to wait for the white man, for the colonizer, to give us permission to be free, to give us permission to eat. What kind of situation is that you will accept some capacity of some foreign and alien power to give you permission to eat, to grow food, et cetera? That's nonsensical. And the only reason it doesn't appear off the top nonsensical is because we've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah.
It's become normal, so to speak. But we don't accept that normality. I think that what we have to do, and we're calling on everybody here to participate in this. We have these rallies, and I appreciate the rallies. But the most important thing that happens here in these rallies is to go to work. We have to go to work. That's the thing that Comrade Gregory had to challenge me on. No, not that we have to go to work, because he's always done it. That's the thing I've always appreciated about Comrade Gregory. You know, if there's something to be done, generally speaking, he's been there. Same thing can be true, you know, James and what have you. If the work has to be done, these comrades are there to do the work. And that's what we have to do. We have to build power. And so there's no mystery about this. There's no mystery about this. the system that oppresses us is human-made, man-made system. As they can create a system to oppress us, if human can create a system to oppress us, we are human too.
Yes.
We can create a system to end this oppression. We can end this oppression as human beings. This is our responsibility.
Yes.
This is why they attack us on July 29, 2022, because we're telling people about this. They want people to be in this trap, the presumption that we cannot do anything without the white man. We can't even think without the white man. They said that we wanted to be free because Russia told us to be free. They said we wanted reparations because Russia, I don't know if Russia knows a damn thing about reparations. You understand? This is the kind of thing that they said. So they would deny us even the ability to think for ourselves.
Yes.
But they know we can think.
Yes.
And that's why they take away something like the Voting Rights Act from us.
Yeah.
That's why they attacked us. We're talking about the Voting Rights Act and this attack on the Voting Rights Act. We saw that before.
Yeah.
Why did they attack us on July 29, 2022? Part of the reason they attacked us is because what they said we were doing in the electoral process. We're the ones who ran candidates for office in St. Petersburg, Florida, that resulted in them sending 27 carloads of police to a normal debate for the mayor's election. And the white man to raise up and say to Jesse Neville that Jesse Neville, you don't deserve, you got your reparations when you got Barack Hussein Obama. And if you don't like it, go back to Africa. So Jesse does. They know what we stand for. They're not confused. They know this is not Russia talking. They know Russia has not been under the boot of U.S. imperialism. Russia wouldn't be under the boot of U.S. imperialism, etc. It's because of that. You talk about free speech. What better assault on free speech? What better example of an assault on free speech than to deny people to participate in the electoral process?
Yeah.
You can't go out and win people to your ideas. You can't take the ideas to the people. That's what we want to do. They know that we would take the ideas to the people. We would take the idea. We would put reparations on the ballot.
Yes.
We would put it on the ballot. We're going to put it on the ballot. You understand? These are the kinds of things that we do. So they kill us when they see us moving toward the capacity to do something with the vote.
Yeah.
1965, that's the time when they passed the Voting Rights Act. Well, what else happened in 1965? They murdered Malcolm X.
Yes.
1968, they murdered Dr. Martin Luther King. 1969, they killed Fred Hampton. They assaulted Black Panther officers throughout this country. They were killing people who represented revolutionary transformation. They want to make sure that the electoral process was not accessible to us, so that by the time you had this Voting Rights Act, you would have nobody to vote for except the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party is not a revolutionary organization.
That's right.
That's the thing that we stuck with, see? So we are going to build out of this. I feel pretty good about this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just unite with something that was mentioned during the video that we showed. I can't show you anything that advances that African people got through voting.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. In fact, we got the right to vote not by voting. We got the right to vote by a fierce struggle. I mean, we got the right to vote. People like to remember the Pettus Bridge incident and stuff like that, but I remember Mississippi Summer Project, where they killed Cheney, Schwerner, and Goodman for doing what? Organizing people to vote, to participate in Joe Biden's organization, to participate in Barack Hussein Obama's organization, for participating in Kamala Harris's organization. That's why they killed those people, and they will continue to do that to us also if that's what we rely on for our way forward.
Yeah.
But we don't rely on that. So we will build where we are. And the power is here. It's in us. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this guy used to be called Reverend Ike. I think I like Reverend Ike. Reverend Ike said that you're wasting your time when you depending on some God somewhere out there, somewhere, some other place. He said you got to depend on the God in you. The God in you. That's what you have to depend on. And so you don't wait for some mysterious God to bring you something. We have to bring it to ourselves.
Yes.
This is what we need to understand. This is our responsibility. This is our task. This is what this movement is all about. So I wanted to make those points, and I also want to remind us that chants and slogans do not organization make.
Right.
We're gonna have to do the work.
Yeah.
We've laid out strategic objectives for this movement. We got to carry out the strategy for this movement. I appreciate so much being in this meeting because I hear so many smart people who don't necessarily come with my understanding of everything, but they're grappling with these issues, these ideas. They reject what white power has said is reality. Our responsibility is to recognize that there are many, many, many people out there like that. We have to take them a program. Do you know that according to the polls that we've been watching related to this current administration, that first of all, there's an error that's made when we just blame it on Donald John Trump, everything that's happened. Trump has a base among white people, a popular base. And his base, he has accomplished something that we haven't seen since the 1980s with the presidency of Ronald Wilson Reagan. Ronald Wilson Reagan ran a similar kind of campaign that popularized among ordinary white people the assault on African people. Ronald Wilson Reagan is the one who came up with the whole idea of welfare queens, talking about African women who give everything, create everything, we the welfare queens. Right. And then you talk about Reagan, but then you've got William Jefferson Clinton, who was a Democrat.
Yeah.
He's the one who kicked African women off of this pittance called welfare after 2 years. He did that. That was Clinton who did that. So this thing is that you find yourself being bounced back and forth between two forces who are in struggle with themselves for control of your ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they're in struggle with themselves around.
Yeah.
So we have to take control of our ass. And so so that we won't be, to coin a phrase, assets for anybody, like accept ourselves. We have to have the confidence and courage to do this. We have to believe in our own rights, our own humanity to do that. And so much has happened to us that sometimes we question our own humanity. We have lost confidence in our own capacity as a people. People reproduce life.
Yes.
It's not like to coin a phrase about Reverend Ike that somebody in some faraway extraterrestrial place descends upon the earth and then grows some people. It's not. People produce life.
Yes.
Human beings produce life. If there's life, it's been created by human beings. I don't care what you saw anywhere. I don't care what the Bible says, etc. You will not find any place on earth in reality where the Bible created life. The best thing you can see is they created the Bible. And if you want to understand how to create life, you investigate life itself and the process of creating life.
Yes.
And that's the thing that we have to do. So Clinton, Biden, Reagan, Donald John Trump, all of them. I'm going to say that and then I'm going to bounce. You have a situation where there's a real serious sense of desperation that envelops the existing social system. And I don't necessarily think that its thinking representatives are conscious of being desperate, but the things they do are desperate. They're desperate because the field of operation has been so severely narrowed. the things that they are able to accomplish has been so severely diminished. And so sometimes when they think they are responsible for doing things, only thing they're responsible for is moving in the direction that the struggles of the people has left open for them to move. Now, anybody who's ever studied guerrilla warfare understand that that's a fundamental strategic objective. That's what I think Che wanted to do, he wanted to create a continental-wide guerrilla war in Africa. I love Che Guevara. He wanted to create a continental war, guerrilla war in Africa against colonialism. And how do you do that? Mao understood this as well. You want the enemy to come in, and then you shut the door. Yes. Once he gets in. Some of you saw that movie, probably Denzel Washington, who himself functions as an agent of some sort with the kinds of roles that he does, anti-Russian, anti-Muslim, anti-Arab kind of stuff. But he comes in, he is, I forgot, what is he supposed to be? The one who clicks the watch on. He comes in and he's talking a bunch of stuff and he locks the door. He's surrounded by all these horrible people and he locks the door. That's frightening. That's frightening. And this guy locks the door and we're getting ready to equalize that, et cetera. And that's what you played football, haven't you? There are people in this room who played football. I never was a football player in that not organized stuff. But there's a play that's called a trap, and it's an offensive play, and the ball is shifted from the center, and then when the opponents rush in, they let them in. Open the door, don't provide any blocking at all, let them in. And then once you get in, cripple them. You understand? This is a common, strategic objective of guerrilla warfare. So we just have to organize our communities. Yes. And if we do that, I've seen the evidence. I've seen it with my eyes. I'm not telling you something I'm speculating about. I've seen it. I've seen Africans in the communities. I've seen them in the streets. I've seen them in the middle of combat in this country. And I've seen that these young people who you see out there, they know guerrilla war. I was involved in some struggle. We worked on one occasion in St. Petersburg, Florida. And we were marching down the streets because there had been these uprisings there. And the young Africans were saying stuff like, "Is it on? Is it on?" You understand? And they was joining us marching, "Is it on?" I said, these Africans want to fight. You understand? They're not running from the police, they're running to the police. And so I called it off. I had people, to back off. And they said, "Well, why'd you do that?" I said, "Because I didn't want you running into this situation where you are going to be surrounded and run into all these forces." They say, "You don't have to worry about that." He said, "We hook and move." We hook and move. So they said they do the Muhammad Ali. And this is what they were saying right there on the street. So people they know how to deal with these forces out there. So I wanted to say that. And we're moving toward an intensive. We're going to do a lot of political education and work in the streets. You should join this. You should be a part of this work and come to the studies that we're going to be doing, training people how to do the work. This is going to be some of the most important work we're going to do. We're going to be in the traps. We're going to be on Redbud in the traps in Redbud. We're going to organize the people in the traps to join the movement. This is Fred Hampton style work. This is SNCC style work. You go where the people are, you organize the people, etc. And you can't be afraid of your own people. Right. You understand? So this is what it is that we're talking about. So we want people to do that. And there's going to be more discussion about participating in that fashion. We want people to volunteer to work in the African Arts Festival. There'll be thousands of people out there. We need our people out there with posters, with propaganda, with burning spears, talking to the people, working on the tables with them pies and stuff like that. They need to see us. And in us, they see themselves. This is what makes us so significant, because they see themselves in us. And that's why it's so important that we have dignified stances and things like that. So, and I know there's other stuff that has to be said, but I wanted to mention those things. And there has to be a place where people here will assume responsibility for coordinating the sale of the burning spears. Who can coordinate the sales of the burning spears? Who can coordinate the work with the volunteers who we're bringing into this process? Who's going to be the coordinator? I'm sure that Comrade Lucade, has figured all of that stuff out. But this is what we're working toward. We want people to go to work, not just come and participate in the talk fest, but help the people understand that we can change the world that we live in if we exercise our own agency as African people. Uhuru.
Right back. Hey, man, when you get fed so good, you be wanting more. I mean, did it stop so soon, leaving us wanting more. So I want to appreciate, yes, sir. I told you, there you go.
No, I have to say this, because one of the things that we ran into, this is people ask, well, how during the Garvey movement, they didn't have internet, didn't have all that stuff, and had millions of African people who joined that movement. Because what happened was, with Garvey, there was no way for African people to, during that period, to advance themselves. All the doors for any kind of advancement in the system was shut to them. And Garvey opened up all kinds of doors where you can be somebody, and you can have your own military. You can also have your own businesses and participate in those businesses. He allowed you to be somebody. And that's why people joined it, and they found him when he didn't find them. You could actually don't have to worry about whether the white man lets you vote or not. You come to vote, 50,000 people show up. That's where the red, black, and green came from. It wasn't from the white man's vote. It was from black people voting at a Garvey movement. This is the thing that we understand. Garvey did that. We can do that. And that's what our responsibility is. That's what our responsibility is. So, and then, like we have this glaring example, in my opinion, of Comrade Deputy Chair Onizene Shatella. I like to mention her, partially because she's a woman. And there were people who at different times would attack us and her role. And they would say that she has this important role in the party because she's married to me. And that's just some dummy. Anybody who's ever participated with us knows just how ridiculous that is. You understand? But I like that because she's a woman. Other thing I like is because she's stone working class. I'm telling you, she came hardcore working class. I'm talking about damn near off the streets. You understand? And worked her way into a situation where she got a job. Like working for a local government. And she learned from that. And in that government, she learned what governing actually, how it looked, how it functioned and stuff like that. That's what you're supposed to do. But the problem was the thing I was mentioning about Garvey, well, once the white man let these Negroes into the door, they didn't want to, they stayed in there. They didn't want to do anything for the people. They think they got this expertise and what have you, and they serve themselves. That's not what Onizene Shatella has done. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you, Comrade.
Touch one. Touch all. Touch all. I want to appreciate the dynamic discussion from my chairman, Uhuru. And I didn't lost my phone. I was without a phone all week. We know the chairman and the panel did a discussion a couple of days ago revolving around this. We show you a clip of it. But I wish I had preview to that. I wish I would have saw that because I would have just shut up and I wouldn't have had to do the political education because that spoke on everything. Why y'all didn't warn me, man? Y'all could have said, hey, Cameron, shut up. We finna play this video. So right on. So, but nevertheless, I'm glad that she did point that video. Y'all did play the video because I mentioned the 14th Amendment, but I forgot to mention why I mentioned it. And she stated it for us, be looking for them stripping that away because Donald Trump already said it. And then the contradictions within the amendment itself, you know what I'm talking about? Because we already know they suppose they gave the 13th Amendment to abolish the slavery, but if you look at it, it says, well, no. No, we just took it out of the state's hands, the civilian hands. And if you did a little trouble, then you gotta be a slave slash servitude. Within that 13th Amendment, it's a contradiction. But then if you go down to the 15th Amendment, how many of us well, I'm not a fella, but how many fellas don't have no voters' rights? They can't vote. Or if you're on paperwork, you can't vote. But that in itself is contradiction because 15th Amendment just says that don't matter of your previous condition of servitude. Where in 13th Amendment it says servitude equals prison time. So your prison time or you know, neither of the things should deny you your right to vote. Nevertheless, our right to vote has been denied. So let's do what the professor of the house, the leadership of the house says, let's get out there and organize and help overturn this system. Uhuru? Uhuru. Well, I'm excited to bring us. I'm excited. Uhuru, comrade, Uhuru. There you go. Rather late than never. But right now I'm excited to open up for discussion, and I saw that comrade president. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Do we have any discussion by the way of hands? If you do, come on up. If not, we go move the agenda. Do we have any discussions? Okay, Conrad, chair. So, okay, so I want to appreciate your time right now. For the sake of time, we're gonna move discussion forward until fee session. Come on up, fee. Fight.
Fist up.
She gonna fight you now.
I want this dress because I want to see you. And I want you to listen to the words that come out of my mouth.
All right.
Because today we have $100 goal. You know, chairman puts out the truth. And the truth always stands alone. It needs no support, but it does need action. And the action from what we need today to complete what has been put in front of us will take resources. Because even though we came from a system that was barter, you know, you do this for me, I can do that for you. We can't do that anymore yet. Not yet. We'll get back to it. But in the meantime, we need $100 or more. And you online, you can get into this too. We need money because we got work to do. We got work to do. We got work to do. All right. Not only do we use your resources, we use your energy. We use your vision and we use your commitment for liberation. All right. Bottom line, we need all of those things. And if you want to give and you don't have the cash, go to Cash App at $ InPDUM, InPDUM, and you'll see IEC. That's the right one. Okay. You can also go to impedum.org/donate. That's what I did. Impedum, yeah, I did that one. And you can also give Comrade Ikenge your dollars and cents. All right. So I'm gonna leave that in your hands until I get ready to say something else. But right now, we want to know who would like to become a member if you are not. Okay, so we all in this fight. We all in this fight. All right. if you have someone that you really think can do this work with gusto as you are, bring them to see Comrade Luca Day, because we're gonna work y'all. We're gonna do that. Okay, if you can't do it physically because you may be at work, then guess what? You pass the word and you tell somebody to come and do it. Or you come when you get out work, like myself, and you donate something, your time, 2 hours, 4 hours. This is gonna be a hot 2 weeks, y'all. Talking about the hot time in St. Pete, we finna put St. Louis on the blaze, okay? To become a member, you can go to impedum.org/donate. I'm sorry, you can do that too. impedum.org/today. This is for you people out here that is not in the room, okay? And if you got somebody you want to get to become a member, take them to impedum.org/join today. It's $35 for 1 year. That's 1 year, 12 months for $35.
Beat that.
Yeah. $10 a month for the Musa Bantu and a Musa Bantu level for membership for students and the unemployed. Yeah, we're gonna meet you wherever you are. You want to work, we're gonna show you how to do it. You can get $5. Sister said cigarettes, what, $10? Come on now. That's only 20 pieces? Okay. If you are behind bars or taken away from us through whatever the police name, if you're behind bars, we can get you in there. Somebody that you know is there. Somebody you suspect is there. Somebody that you know somebody that's there. Get them the paper. We got to give them some information so they can make it when they come out. So they can make it right. They can make it when they come out, as long as they're breathing, but they can make it right by becoming a member of the organization, and they can become a soldier where they are. Okay? And with that being said, that's how you become a member of the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. The ground line and the fighting people, the fighting fears, okay? One last thing. Most of the leadership, not all, most of the leadership in this organization came through InPDUM, because that's where you learn the ground rules. Okay? And as you learn the ground rules, you learn how to lead, and you bring other people with you and you teach them the ground rules. With that being said, I'm gonna stop saying that because that's what you say. Okay, I'm talking too much.
Make a long story short.
No, I'm already shocked. But comrades, seriously, this is a life and death decision. And I choose to live. And I want to bring everybody I know with me, because as long as you breathe, you got to make it equal to know that the air you breathe is yours. Liberation is not a game. It's not a game. Okay? Too many people have already gone down for it. We're going to go up with it. All right? With that, I will come back when we get the rest of the resources. I had 15. Okay. And there was 5 from another comrade.
Okay, so 20 and 99, 9 is 119.
Oh,
So fast I go.
you, Uhuru. We are winning. Uhuru.
I want to appreciate the comrades for surprising our goal, Uhuru. We know the numbers that was quoted for membership. That's one time a year. Come on, give a round of applause for that. Come on now. Come on now. So we know that everybody in house be members. So the folks that's online, I just want to reiterate. Bless you. $5 is for the incarcerated students. $10 level. Then you got a 25. Now, Conrad said 35. I know we got old verbiage to say 25. So it's 25. Okay, so it was correction. So 25, 25, all this annually. We could do that, right? Uhuru. Um, not only that, I would like to bring our Conrad president up for announcements. Fist up! Right back.
Uhuru, Uhuru Comrades. As chairman had said, there will be a 2 week long intensive that will be happening right here in St. Louis. And so an intensive for 2 weeks, folks will be coming in, as well as the folks who are here, the comrades who are here. Will be involved in an intensive. And we'll be going door to door, doing outreach, doing spirit sales. The intensive starts is between the 21st, which it starts next Thursday. Between the 21st and the last day of the intensive is the 6th. And so for 2 weeks, there's a lot that we have to do within this time span. We have the African Arts Festival. We have getting out the word in terms of making sure that that we meet people at their door, introducing them to to the Uhuru movement, to InPDUM, and stuff like that. We'll be participating in work days that the Black Power Blueprint and RIC, the Reparations Investment Company, will be holding, and we'll also be building for getting the word out in terms of the 10th electoral campaign school. This in addition to building for the St. Louis Black Community Convention. Whereas I had said earlier, we'll be pulling Black St. Louis into a process of developing our own agenda. And this is going to be voted on coming out of that convention. And so we'll be
Do count.
yeah, where your vote do count. Yeah, that's right on. But as far as the intensive, we need forces. It's 2 weeks long. I know that there are forces who will be taking off, the plantation during that entire duration. But even if you can come in for an hour or two, 4 hours, I mean, you name it, we would love to have you be involved because your involvement is necessary. It builds the local branch of InPDUM. It rapidly develops, our forces here. And we'll be having political education. There are daily physical education or physical training that will be occurring in the mornings and stuff like that. We'll be raising up the flag and sending it down and stuff like that. So it's an entire thing. And if you can make it, we want you there. Do we have people here who would like to participate in the intensive that will be coming up? And once again, okay, that's James. Cool. By the way, Sister Carol will be marking checks off, by your name. Those people who came in, sign in, stuff like that. And so, Comrade Sister Carol, James has his hand raised. He would like to participate. Who else? Comrade Emil has her hand raised. What are the times? Oh, well, it's 2 weeks. It's gonna be from morning starting at 7. We'll be going into the evenings as well. Some nights we'll be holding a film night, so or a movie night. We'll part of our outreach is actually bring the community in and having film nights and stuff like that during the evenings. So we'll be physical training in the morning, raising up the flag, political education, outreach, summation, political education, outreach, and then and then maybe like a film night or something, some kind of social, event, stuff like that, during the evenings. But in the past, it's historically been so that, comrades really get close to one another because we're struggling through this process. So hopefully that answers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can make some evenings.
Okay, cool. That'd be awesome. Yeah, Comrade Terrence.
Put his name down.
Westbrook indicated.
Westbrook. Okay.
And I appreciate you, Conrad, because I remember you came in saying that you wanted to work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the perfect time. Yeah.
You're not a bench warmer. You right on.
I'm not much of a talker.
No, it's all good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Comrade Carroll, Westbrook. I had us. Okay. That should be. Okay, yeah. It should be at least 5. You got James, Emil, Terrence, Westbrook, and as well as Fofi.
He got his number.
What's the last?
Kofi.
Yeah, Fofi just raised her hand raised. Okay, cool. All right, this is super exciting. We'll be okay. So I'll be going through the announcements, and I will also bring up Comrade Shakura, who is just coming back from Ghana, and she'll be speaking on the victories coming out of there. But very quickly, going into announcements, we are streaming live from the Burning Spirit TV YouTube channel, the online voice of the International African Revolution. If you are watching online, please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. It helps with the algorithm to reach a broader audience. The Burning Spirit TV has also just launched its paid membership program, offering a 20% off promo code for the BurningSpirit.store, where you can find books by Chairman Amali Yeshitela, as well as other Burning Spirit merchandise. Basic membership is $4.99 per month. We encourage you to support this important platform by clicking the join button and signing up. In case you missed it, you can watch our historic September 2025 annual InPDUM convention on the Burning Spirit TV YouTube channel. Be sure to check out the dynamic presentations by Montemala Odom, Chairman Mashitella, People's Alderman Jesse Todd, and many more, as well as reports from Africa by Luezi Kinsasha and Tafari McGarry, and much more. Well, we already talked about the intensive. Comrade Shakur, if you come up and we can speak on the work coming out of Ghana, and then
Briefly, as she coming up,
Mhm.
as she coming up.
You can do it. I mean, the president can do it. Yeah.
Well. Oh, come on.
Uhuru, everyone.
Uhuru.
I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as possible, Chairman and Presidents. Uhuru, comrades.
Uhuru.
Oh man, I'm gonna give a quick report on the work that was done in Ghana. But there's so much that's been said, and I don't have time. A couple of things you said, Chairman, I sure wanted to speak to, but I won't. Don't want to take up too much time. So anyway, greetings. I want to bring you greetings and Uhuru from Ghana, several places in Ghana. And Chairman, at 3 o'clock here is 8 o'clock there, and our new branch in Kasawa meet at 3 here. And so that's who had called, and they said, give salute to Chairman and to the comrades here. Y'all, they are so excited. They are so excited. So just a quick report. I didn't even know this was gonna happen like this, Chairman. You know what I'm saying? So I get there, and contacts that I had made from times before, whatever. So Kasawa is Castlewa is a little, well, it's not a little town, it's really grown, but it's a community that's west of Accra. And then a little further is Mankasim on your way to Cape Coast, okay? And then there's Mankasim. And then on the other side of Accra, like a suburb, is Aosh. So Castlewa was the first. So I was there and with family, their house of people, so they speak house anyway. I was on their compound with them, and so I was telling and I only had a few spears. I had tried to get some spears before I left, but wasn't able to get them. So I only had a few spears. So I started talking to the 2 or 3 people that was around there, and they were excited. And they said, "Yes, can we have a meet?" I said, "We can have a meeting." They said, "Okay, we'll pull this meeting together." Y'all, within about a week, with less than a week, we settled on the meeting to be on. We had the meeting on Sunday. That's what worked out for everybody, and that's what they ended up consolidating. So they meet every Sunday at 8. But so we have a full organization. We had that meeting that Sunday. They were so excited. The PE, well, I had to give them a history on the party and InPDUM. They want to be a InPDUM member. So I'm so glad oh, wow. I get so excited. But anyway, the PE was from our newspaper, the convention, InPDUM convention. The reason I'm probably stuttering because I'm trying to go fast. The InPDUM convention, because it laid out everything. It lays out the history, talks about the party, and then it lays out the history of InPDUM. They were so excited. I only had one spear. And then the other thing is, it was very difficult, Chairman, because I thought it was going to be 7 people at this meeting, 7, 8 people. It was over 15 people that came to that meeting, and that people speak different languages. So trying to explain stuff and all of that. So anyway, we ended up, so I had to leave and go to Mankasim like the next day or whatever. And I'm thinking, oh, I need to call and make sure they're whatever. And I'm so anyway, they called me, text me and said, "Okay, comrade, we're doing this, and we'll have all of our officers." And so anyway, they were really excited. And so, and they told me they settled on the meeting and everything. So we do have probably about, let me see. Okay, oh, here they are. That's Castlewa over there. And it was another picture because I wanted y'all to see our secretary. Her name is Fasima, and she happens to be a nurse. In Castlewa, we already started the Black Ankh. I wanted to ask if that was okay. We use the same name, right? It's continuity, right? We the same. So is that okay? Anyway, so we're starting that health piece, right? And she's already talked to other nurses, all of that. So we already starting that committee. But anyway, and then they're clear on the PE. All of what we have, I passed to them. Chairman, when I got back the next week, whenever I got back, they had already talking about, look, we've been looking up the chairman, the ones that had smartphones. I said, right, that was exciting. So anyway, then so that was Castlewa.
And tell me about how far these places from each other.
Oh yeah, and that was another thing, was really hard. I had forgotten how far places were from each other. So I'm in my head, okay, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna go here. Chairman, it was hard. So if the traffic is right and the construction, when the construction's done from Castlewa to Mankasim should probably take an hour and a half to 2 hours. Almost 5 hours just because y'all was crazy. So that's just going there. And then when I come back, and if I had to pass Castlewa and go all the way to Accra, we talking about even longer. So that was crazy. And then I'm gonna say this. I was told before I left by some comrades, okay, Comrade Shakur, you ain't gonna have to worry about taxis, and we don't have to worry about that. So I got a car, so we're gonna be able to get around. No. So, and then same with housing. Some people's situation supposed to have been taken care of. So y'all already see where we're going. That money would have been used. But anyway, that's another story. So that didn't happen. So, Mankasim, that's Aosh. So okay, so let me slow down. Castlewa, we have a full branch, and almost every office is filled. The last 2 that they filled at the last meeting was the economic development. Couple of those, my mind's gonna break. But this is this town is village. Town is Aosh, and that's the one that's like a little suburb of Accra. And so we don't have a organizing committee there yet, but I set up the Uhuru Shule. And so we got some sisters working with the Uhuru Shule. And is it another picture? It's one where the children, so anyway, right there, let me back it up real quick. And I know I'm running way over. So right here, this is, and it's just when you're talking about Garvey and all of that. So our first thing was Africa, our home, and just hit a few things. So anyway, we started our shoelay, and you can go to the other one. And then so this is all in a house. And so I took all of my equipment with me. And so the children, this was even before the shoelay started. So this was like a precursor. So I had all these children, they just come from everywhere and don't walk down the street to the market. I come back with a whole entourage following me, right? So we just, anyway, so I started, in this session, they learned about the brain, the heart, lungs, and the kidney. And y'all, them kids could, if you ask them, Chairman, what do your lungs do? They would tell you. What does your heart do? And so they know everything is connected. It's not, see, the West separates everything, and I'm not gonna get on that kick, but y'all know that everything, they made everything separate. Africans and other countries, so let me stop. Everything is holistic. And so that's not good. That's why a lot of people with health issues, they'll say something like, I'm healthy. All I have is diabetes. And they don't see that all of that is all connected. So so I'm gonna stop. So Mankay Seam, Osh, we only have the shoelay, but the two sisters and a brother, we're gonna be working on an organizing committee of InPDUM there. And then in Mankay Seam, go to the little brothers, that's switch it up. Yeah, this is Mankay Seam over here. And that the older brother right there, his name is Kwame. I met him, and then these are all the boys, and then we have two sisters that's going to be working with them. One is Ya, and one is Mafia. So we have them working. But I met the boys. These youngsters are the first group to organize. I won the adults to work with them. So I came out of this hotel that somebody had to get for me because I didn't have no place to stay, right? And so I came out, and few of the boys were sitting on the side where the babies are, right? And so I said, so I gotta go talk to them. So I went over there, and I don't see him. I don't see the little brother that actually started engaging and talking. You know what I'm saying? His name is Toby Kabiri, Chairman. He's from Burkina Faso. And man, he had been following what's going on and stuff like that. So that's how the conversation started. So most of them, only two or three of them are high schoolers. And then those others, the others are the last level before going to high school, whatever they call it there, but we call it middle school, whatever. And so that's our Mankay Seam crew. And that's only an organizing committee. But them two, we're working on the presidents and the officers, and as well as we're trying to do everything that we're doing here. We have our economic development, and they have ideas for some things that we're already working on a couple of things. And then, like I said, the health, we're working on gardens, because y'all can see some of the places it's just cement in the villages and some of the compounds. So we having to find some spaces for that. But all of that is what we're trying to build, following our work and leadership here. It's a few other things I wanted to say, but that's good enough.
Come on now. Let's give a hand round of applause for our Congress report on Africa.
We all winning. And when we say touch one, touch all, we actually mean that. So right on, Conrad, for the report. Earlier.
Please.
Oh.
And it has to do with the fight back, the Uhuru fight back. I do have a donation for the appeals, but I just wanted to say I just want to say I unite, and I'm clear. And we have to help our people to really understand the connection with how this appeal battle, and how important, so very important. It has to do, our very ability to just do anything. I remember, anyway, let me stop.
Uhuru. No, I want to unite with Conrad. And that's called being excited. That's called being zeal. That's called, we all should have that spirit. That's called the spiritual. No, we ain't gonna call it. Okay. But make a long story short, let's get out there, let's work, let's organize. So once again, let's give a round of applause to another part. Yeah, no. So before we close it out, first of all, I want to echo our chairman and for us appreciate James being here, but also want to I see our Conrad Makeda came on through. Nevertheless, she's supposed to be in the bed some damn word, but she still showed up. Man, I see you crying. I see you in pain. I see you a whole lot of stuff, but I want to thank you for showing up, nevertheless, of your pain. But Uhuru, I want to appreciate that. I want to appreciate you showing up, nevertheless. So, I want to bring our Comrade President back up to finish the announcement, and once he finished the announcement, we're gonna close it on now so we can eat. Okay, Uhuru. Fist up.
All right, Uhuru. Just going through the rest of the announcements. The grand opening of Uhuru Bakery and Cafe. It's set to open August 15th. This is around Marcus Garvey's birthday. And so join the team to build the grand opening for we'll be pushing this, like we do at Sular over at the African Arts Festival. The team meetings are the first and third Tuesdays. And the next meeting is June 5th at 5:30 p.m. and it will be over at the Bakery Cafe. That's 3719 West Florissant Avenue. Next. And like we said before, we need volunteers for the African Arts Festival. I think we already had gotten some confirmations for that. Yeah. Uhuru. On August 6th, Gregory, did you want to do this one? Yeah, on June 6th, InPDUM joins AMWO for the June 6th One Africa, One Nation farmers market, and Gregory will tell you something.
Just quickly, the farmers market is going to on Saturday, June 6th. That's going to be our opportunity to promote healthy food in this desert here on the north side. In conjunction with that, InPDUM will be in fact promoting economic commerce by putting together a community yard sale. So any of you who would like to contribute to InPDUM, you can bring your yard sale items right here. I'll pick them up. We'll put them in storage until June 6th.
Which right here, for the folks who's watching?
I'm sorry, it's 4101 West Florissant. That's Uhuru House. We're accepting items for children's items, household items, anything that can help your community grow. If you got those things sitting around your house, and I know many of you do, that are collecting dust, bring them on out. We can create our own economic community here on the near north side, and we encourage each and every one of you to do that. Or if you want to set up your own table, you have a community organization, church that wants to put its own yard sale table up, go to the flyer for the yards, excuse me, for the
One Africa, One Nation
farmers market, and sign up for that. So there's an opportunity for us not only to have healthy eating, but economic commerce here on the north side. So
Uhuru. Uhuru. Yeah, so any questions in terms of that? Comrade Greg is the person to go to. Next slide, the Blacks Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace, and Reparations will be hosting its 10th annual electoral campaign school right here in St. Louis. The theme is "It's the whole damn system. We're not going back," and that is June 6th. From June 6th to June 7th, right here at the Uhuru House, that's 4101 West Florissant Avenue. And we'll be, training everyday African people, coming from our communities, how to run for office, but not only how to run for office, but how to run for office, putting reparations on the agenda, Black community control of housing, Black community control of the police, Black community control of education, and so forth on the agenda. Anyone who runs for office or wanting the black vote, or wants to represent us and stuff like that, needs to run for office on a black political agenda. Next slide. Hands off Uhuru. The oral arguments, which will be occurring in Atlanta, July 22nd. And we need people there. There's already a lot of people who are preparing to mobilize. We do want to coordinate, travel and stuff like that. So there is a sign-up sheet by Comrade Carroll. I know I'm already one of the people who plans on being there, but do we have anyone else who plans on being there in Atlanta? Maybe we can also coordinate travel and stuff like that. Comrade Shakur, okay, cool. Anyone else? Penny, Jesse, and Comrade Kincaid. Yeah. This is definitely precedent setting because we'll be challenging FARA, the Foreign Agent Registration Act. Basically, anytime that there's a dissent, on a U.S. policy, they utilize the Foreign Agent Registration Act, as a political weapon to silence, any kind of dissent. Moving on, the RNDP studies is every Thursday between 7 p.m. Central, that is 8 p.m. Eastern, or 5 p.m. Pacific. And these are weekly studies hosted by InPDUM. And you can register at tinyurl.com/RNDP studies. Once again, that is tinyurl.com/RNDP studies. Oh, for those of you who are going to Atlanta, go to handsoffuhuru.org/take action. That's handsoffuhuru.org/take action. And there you can fill out a form, saying that you intend to be there. Uhuru. Next slide. Order the Burning Spear. Get your Burning Spear newspapers. This is the voice of the African working class, and it's an important recruiting and organizing tool of InPDUM as we get folk in these communities like a summation in terms of world events from the perspective of African workers ourselves and the African, an African internationalist perspective. So you can get a bundle or a subscription today at theburningspear.store. And you can also sign up an incarcerated brother or sister who will receive free monthly copies of the Burning Spear newspapers. These serve as a lifeline to those who are behind enemy lines. And they get passed around, the spear get passed around from cell to cell until they're worn out. That's how much they're are beloved and cherished inside the prisons. Last slide. Help to build the Sunday rally. We need your help building for the Sunday rallies. This includes welcoming people at the sign-in table, helping with tech and audio-visual equipment, creating promotion material like flyers, helping to provide security for these community events. And also, we need folks for flag detail. During the intensive, we will be raising the flag up, and things like that, and bring them down. But we need folks regularly assigned to flag detail ahead of these Sunday rallies. And lastly, the care move. Today's care move is chicken.
Chicken, pasta. What we having? Scream at us. Scream at us.
What we got today? You said spaghetti?
I'm still got some good pasta there.
French fries, salad, fruit, candy,
Oh, we
chips,
eating good today.
and
Hey, I'm full already.
stuff.
Some yogurt.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, right on. And just a reminder, we are taking in non-perishable food items, any kind of and any kind of like just a emergency material that you know, that we can anticipate that the community will need come any you know, emergency and stuff like that, like the past tornado and stuff like that. We don't we want to already have these things in place. Uhuru. Okay, yeah, this was a great and
So
powerful.
bring it on down on full goods. Bring it on down to 4101 West Florissant. Any day, any day, any day. But if you're gonna show up and bring it on Sunday, you might as well stay around 2 to 3, 3 to 5.
That's
you might as
right.
well stay. So yeah, right on, Uhuru. And with that being said, I want to appreciate you again for showing up. I want to appreciate you again for being a little patient. We kind of ran over, but y'all be all right. Same place, same what?
Same time.
Same time.
Let's eat.